Hi, thanks again for joining us at the 2021 Sloan Sports Analytics Conference Competitive Advantage Talks, presented by Kager, also known as Kraft Analytics Group. My name is Emily Johnson, and I'm a first-year MBA student at MIT Sloan. And it's my pleasure to introduce our presentation, Democratizing Athletic Talent Identification via AR Technology. Please join me in welcoming our speaker, Morgan Todd, to the stage.
Thank you, Emily. Hi, everyone. My name is Morgan Todd, and I'm thrilled to chat with you today. I'm so excited to share some of the projects that Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment has been working on recently, and I hope that today's topic will show you how our latest innovation has led to strong business results and applicable impact far beyond our organization. For those unfamiliar with MLSE, we're at the epicenter for sports and entertainment within Canada, located in the heart of downtown Toronto. We own and operate all of the teams and venues you see on the right-hand side of your screen. My role as manager of strategy within the global partnerships team is all about collaborating with others to leverage the power of data, insights, and research to create big, exciting ideas for our partners. We're dedicated to pushing the boundaries on what's possible and passionate about creating magic for our fans every single day. This means working hand in hand on strategic projects that can come from anywhere in our company and challenge the idea of a traditional commercial model. It's this potential that really excites me about the future of MLSE, which I'll be sharing with you today. Now, what I'm about to tell you might sound a little controversial. I want to talk about winning, and I want to talk about championships. And I'm going to argue that championships in sports do not define success. Perhaps I should rephrase. Winning in the conventional sense doesn't mean success. I know this sounds a little confusing and paradoxical, and it's how I felt too not too long ago. As I take you on this journey, I want you to remember 4 key things. First, that our old notions of winning are quite two-dimensional. We're overdue on redefining what goals are in this industry, and we need to overcome some specific challenges in order to move forward. Second, the future of sports business is going to be rooted in innovation, and success is going to be defined by those who are willing to think differently. Third, I'm going to give you a sneak peek into a really cool AR tool that our team has created and the social impact that it's generating. And fourth, you'll learn how to use our way of thinking and our tool in your own organization. April 20th, 1967, December 9th, 2017, June 13th, 2019. Dates etched in time and memory, the latter two at least for me. These are the last times that the Toronto Maple Leafs raised the Stanley Cup, that Toronto FC won the MLS Championship, and that the Toronto Raptors brought the Larry O'Brien Trophy home to Canada. Now, those nights stand out to me not only for the celebrations, the cheering, the confetti, the camaraderie, they stand out to me as pivotal moments in my career. The moment that you win it all, what happens? Is that it? Do you stop? Do you quit? Do you retire? Of course not. The buzzer resets. And you have a moment to look at critically at what you're in this for, at the bigger picture, and at your business overall. We're trained to understand sports as a journey to an end. The ultimate goal is tangible. It's to beat everyone else. It has an end point. But if you ask any athlete, any coach, any sports executive about what happens when you win, they're all likely to answer in a bit of the same way. Of course, we celebrate because winning is really fun, but then almost immediately we ask ourselves, what now? What's next? Of course, let's not negate the upside and financials of winning the big title. You've unlocked new revenue streams. You see the effects on ticket sales, on retail, on food and beverage. Your broadcast revenue reaches new height because you've got a ton of added exposure on your market. And you're getting calls from companies you've never even heard of before because everyone wants to work with the winners. But if I challenge that and think about the times that we've won versus the times that we haven't, we tend to wake up the next morning and ask ourselves the exact same question and approach it in the exact same way. How do we create the next big opportunity? Winning it all definitely has its upsides, but those aren't permanent. So you need to already be thinking about the next big chapter, the next play, and doing it long before that final buzzer beater ever hits. Much like many other sports organizations, at MLSE, we have a team of experts in various fields who are working with separate resource requirements. And as a leader of the organization and of those teams and of those departments, how do you know where to focus your attention next in order to achieve the progress that will make your organization successful? Do you decide to dedicate your focus to commercial efforts to make more money, to fund more programming, or branding and equity to capitalize on the attention that you've just earned? Are you thinking about talent and who's going to get you back to the top next time? Or perhaps the coaching and the performance experts that are going to help that talent get there? Maybe you're thinking about technology. Are you a tech-first organization? Are you thinking about creating leading-edge experiences for your fans and leading everyone else in that category? Are you looking at grassroots? Are you responsibly doing enough to grow the community around you? Or perhaps you're flipping that and looking at expansion. Are you thinking about the next big market? You can see how each of these might contradict each other and compete. And none of these things are free at the end of the day. So limited resources often create vacuums and silos within sports organizations. The future of sports business is facing a major challenge. If winning is based on the ability to grow, to change, to build, and to innovate, then how do we do this in a siloed corporate structure of the past? Collaboration is our biggest challenge and our biggest opportunity. And while simplistic in theory, scalable collaboration is something our industry needs to unlock in order to really innovate, and those that don't risk being left behind. So, unlocking collaboration. I want to look at what happened at MLSE when we broke down some barriers, bringing unexpected expertise together to collaborate in these three areas: athletic talent, technology, and commercial growth. Let's go back a year or so. We had three different areas of our business working separately to problem solve within their own worlds. Within our Toronto FC franchise, our Major League Soccer team, we had coaching staff and scouts identifying that our scouting practices were hitting a tipping point. Geographically, it was becoming more and more challenging to identify talent beyond our biggest communities, and the future of our academy and our franchise was depending on it. We had also just launched a new focus area within our business, shifting from what was a small digital team and a traditional IP support system to a now more formalized digital innovation hub that we call Digital Labs. And we also had a strategic partnerships team responsible for revenue driving initiatives, who are identifying ecosystem saturation as a challenge for partners who are looking for more meaningful ways to connect with both our fans and our teams. Together, these three groups started ideating around one singular solution that would solve for our talent identification problem. What would come to be a democratized tool that could be scaled to anyone around the world, and that would instantly allow users interested in Toronto FC or our academy to test their skills for a chance to join our training system. It would be an opportunity for kids across the country to see a real pathway, regardless of where they live, to become the next global soccer superstar. Here's what that looks like.
The Academy is providing opportunity.
Our goal is to have the best player development system in North America.
Our goal is always to strive to be the talk of the world when it comes to MLS. When there's a standard of MLS, it should be Toronto FC.
Well, here at Toronto FC Academy, it's a very unique opportunity for players to develop in a highly competitive environment, to then aspire one day to play the game at the professional level. And we're able to provide those resources for players at the youngest ages to be able to achieve their goals.
Everyone, when they're growing up, they want to be a pro basketball player, pro baseball player, pro soccer player.
I've played for so many different teams in my life and been a part of so many different clubs, and I have one jersey that's framed, and that's the club of my youth. Even when I was a kid, you have these stars and these different teams that you want to be a part of and that you want to develop into, and an academy player has that.
I think a big part of that is the development of players, and develop players who can make a difference at the MLS level, who can make a difference for Canada and at the international level.
If they can make an impact and become the next Josie Altidore or Michael Bradley or Alejandro Pozuelo, can they become that?
We're looking for you to be the next generation of tomorrow.
Always strive to be the greatest version of yourself.
We look forward to you guys achieving your dreams and being part of TFC for many, many years.
We soft launched TFC WideNet last summer, yes, in the middle of a pandemic. Together, our TFC scouting and coaching staff, digital labs, and our partnerships teams brought what seemed like an impossible solution to life. Today, I'm proud to share that anyone can download this app, which means we can identify talent anywhere in our country. What's better is that we discovered some really cool unintended benefits along the way. At its highest level, TFC WideNet is a product that democratizes our ability to evaluate athleticism and skill. We're able to combine technical performance insights, with the fact that these athletes are self-selecting their interest in soccer to start identifying out who out there might be a successful candidate within our academy training system. From download through registration to application, submission, and results, our digital labs team leveraged some amazing gamification insights and user behavior to craft a tool that youth would actually want to use. So you're probably wondering how it works. In the beginning, we kept it pretty simple. The user downloads the application on any operating software and is prompted to create a profile using their basic demographics. Then they're prompted to try 2 tests, either a 20-meter sprint or a 200-meter shuffle. Next, they're going to use their camera to measure out the distances using AR and basically execute the test from there. The app tells them to set a physical marker, could be something as simple as a shoe or a pen, and then instructs them to move back either 20 meters or 200 meters, telling them when to stop. They'll place a second marker and then give their phone to a friend or family member to film them as they sprint or run between these 2 points. That's it. It's pretty simple. Each test score is captured and instantly uploaded for our coaches to review manually on the back end. The users can also see their results, and if they want to do it multiple times, they'll be able to access their results within a leaderboard section and compare against those who are in their same test group and age group across the board. To date, we've only done a soft launch without any mass marketing amplification. We've already seen about 1,000 athletes using this across our country. Given pandemic realities like the fact that there's no formal training systems out there right now, or soccer for kids to play in at a grassroots level, or even outside space for people to try this test, we're planning to fill these gaps this summer as we hopefully shift into more normalized training environments for our athletes. And while the pandemic has disrupted almost all aspects of professional sport, we've continued to think about how we're innovating for our players, our fans, and our future stars. What's next for us? We're looking at things like adding new performance metrics like the Stroop test, which you can see here, adding mental acuity on top of the physical traits to see how athletes process psychological cues under pressure. Athletes are challenged to look at colors, words, and then colors and words to separately identify their processing speeds. The idea is that we layer on more and more of these assessments, and the clearer the understanding of the athletic performance we'll get. I also mentioned that right now, evaluation of tests is done manually by our coaches and our scouts on the back end. To advance this tool further, we're looking at statistical analysis and integrating AI to create triggers for talent that meet thresholds within their results. Our goal is basically to teach the system to get smarter as we collect more and more data, to eliminate a lot of that guesswork and become more accurate with our talent identification. We're also looking to improve our dashboards as we collect more information to make it simpler for any coaching staff to use this tool and to free up some of their time to focus on other things. Now, you may have also noticed that this tool is only measuring running. It's not measuring kicking a ball or scoring a goal. And this makes it transferable to nearly any other sport and any other market. And the great news is that this tool is actually white labelable. We can take this anywhere today. You can bring it home to your own organization and use this in your own sport. In fact, the wider the net that we cast, the more effective this tool becomes. And from a wider fan marketing affinity standpoint, we're looking at the scale of this tool and the opportunity for us to leverage this data as new marketable contacts who have expressed interest in our team in a really unique way. Creating new communications, content, skills training, and ticketing opportunities for this group is on our radar. And finally, the tool has infinite potential for partnership integration. Of course, we can add logos and we can film athletes actually using the tool, but the real power for this app for our team is really unique. This is the first time we've built a program where our partners can tangibly say that they've been involved in athlete development from the very beginning, where they can say that they actually contributed to that big win on the pitch because they helped TSC identify and train the talent that was out there. And the potential here spans into such scalable outcomes. And the most innovative and impactful piece of this app is actually diving into the international talent market. Let's look at Canada's soccer superstar, Alphonso Davies, as a perfect example of what's possible. Alphonso actually grew up in a much smaller market in Western Canada, where his soccer success was supported by the right people identifying his talent and putting him into the right systems to succeed, before eventually being traded to Bayern Munich for millions of dollars. Imagine if he had grown up in an even smaller market. He may have never had the chance to make it into the training system like he did. This tool is built to democratize that scouting in a way that nearly guarantees that a superstar that Alphonso would not be potentially missed due to geographic or socioeconomic barriers that often exist within our training systems. Imagine you could guarantee to your team that you had a way to easily identify your sport's next top talent, no matter how remote the location they're in. Imagine what it means to kids to know that no matter who they are or where they are, they have a chance to become the world's next great athlete. And while we're so proud of the beginning of this incredible journey for TFC WideNet, I want to share a little bit about how we're taking this way of collaborative, agile approach to thinking into a cross-functional way across our organization and formalizing it so it becomes something that we do every day within our business. Our plan is to take the lab concept and ingrain it into our organization's DNA, scaling our agile approach to solution building. Last year, just before we launched TFC WideNet, we launched MLS Sport Performance Lab. It's a cross-functional team of experts across our 3 major sports franchises, digital labs, and with the backing of our corporate teams. Our approach is no different than many other high-performing agile teams in different industries, and we're leveraging the same tools and techniques that create some of the world's best digital platforms, startups, and user experiences. We basically identify a challenge, ignite a research problem to understand it, we synthesize the insights and make recommendations, test out our tools and solutions, and measure and optimize. Either way, our focus teams are forced to try and succeed or fail quickly, and then on to the next big challenge as we cycle through. The idea here is that we can use this sprint format to approach many different challenges and continuously be creating new solutions for our business in tandem. That program velocity really becomes unstoppable. SBL is essentially a hub within our business dedicated to ideation, led by our team of technical experts, of coaches, wellness and medical staff, trainers, scouts, leadership, and often the athletes themselves, that we can lend our resources to both internally and externally to support individual and cross-franchise innovation. To start, we're thinking about 3 distinct areas of focus on impacting athletic performance. First, we're looking at injury and prevention and performance enhancement. Imagine a system that can actually contribute to new records within the sport, or actually prevent injuries long before they ever happen. We're looking at equipment, because who knows better on how to actually test this stuff than the athletes who are doing it at the highest possible level. And finally, coaching and management. Much like we're talking about here today, creating and testing new solutions that help our leadership drive our teams forward and attracting new coaching talent at the same time. Now, our teams of cross-functional experts sprint within these 3 areas, and it's our goal to show how by coming together, we can progress the success rate of athletic performance on our systems that support it. And you can see how something like TFC WideNet could easily come from a system like this. Now, earlier we talked about 3 seemingly unrelated arms of our business, each with their own challenges, opportunities, and resourcing demands, each with their own benefit to the future of innovation within our wider organization. But by bringing them together to address one singular challenge, we've unlocked a bigger opportunity for impact through our TFC WideNet tool. We've been able to build a solution that actually spans into so many positive outcomes, benefiting almost all of the different teams across our organization, including the ability to attract major commercial revenue, to build brand equity through reach to new places across our country, to create a stronger fandom through a new relationship with our youth talent, to directly impact the team's overall performance potential. We've strengthened the role of our coaches and scouts. We've added a new technology lens to our fan base. We've contributed to grassroots growth at a really deep and expanded level, and we're reaching new audiences far beyond our backyard, just like I'm talking with you here today. And I can only think of a few ideas that have ever spanned this much impact for so many teams across MLSE, and the real takeaway here is not the tool itself, but how we got there to begin with, our agile approach to collaboration across the business. I promised you a few key applications for your own organization when it comes to what we've walked through today. So I'm going to wrap up by doing exactly that. I hope that this understanding of what it means to win within the sports business has challenged your way of thinking when it comes to innovation within our industry. Success in sports means changing the game. When it comes to your bottom line, innovation is just as important as winning championships. Fostering it within your team is critical to the future of success within your business. Our industry is plagued by silos, so we need to be looking at other ways of thinking and working together. Experiment by breaking down barriers across your team and opening collaboration in unexpected ways across the business. Adopt a tech-first approach. WideNet is a data-powered tool that has incredible potential to change the future of sport and the opportunity for youth to reach their full potential anywhere in the world. Finally, this collaborative and agile approach to innovation is only going to work if the idea of pushing towards the next big win, the next big championship, or the next big record is built into your team's DNA. Before that final buzzer beater ever hits or that home run is ever even scored, you should always be asking yourselves and your teams, what's next? So I hope I've got your wheels turning. If you're interested in learning more about TFC WideNet or MLS Sport Performance Lab, please reach out. I genuinely think that the more we all collaborate, the more we open doors into the possibility of innovation within our industry. Thank you.